Greetings and salutations, Solo Guy here, and today I'm going to unbox the Battlefront's World War III The Complete Starter Set. Now, if you've ever read the novel Team Yankee, that's what this has been based on. A few years ago, Battlefront came out with the original rules for World War III combat called Team Yankee. And on the back here, they show all the tanks and vehicles that you are getting. So just taking a quick look here, under the American force, you have got, for headquarters, 1 Abrams, you got two Abram tank platoon, 2 M60 Patton platoons, and 2 M3 Bradleys. Now these could be transport for mechanized troops, or they could be for a scout section. On the Russian side, you've got a T-80 for the headquarters, 3 T-80s for tank platoon, 3 T-64s for another tank platoon, and then you've got 2 BMP-3s, which are the upgraded version of the BMP-2s. So you have all the contents of this box. Let's go ahead and let's see what these guys have in here. Some people, they open up the box, beforehand and look at the contents. I think I would much rather go ahead and just go with it as you guys seen it. I know other people have opened, have done the review, but, hey, it's my take on it. Okay, so, packed with goodies. Lots of goodies. And first off, we've got a selection of appropriately themed dice, American and Russian dice. They're not the same size as the standard Flames of War dice, but nevertheless, I would still use them. They're useful. Okay. I also have here 2 Tank Commander strips. Definitely, let's see if you can see it up here. This is definitely for the American guys. And you also have a Russian tank commanders as well. Okay, which looks very similar to the World War II for some crazy reason. You kind of notice how sprues are, it's just packed with sprues, which is really cool. And so let's go ahead and separate those out. So we got our Bradleys, we'll set those off to the side. And here we have a T-64s. So I've got three T-64s, set those off to the side. And we've got 2 BMP-3s, we'll set those off. Okay, we have another Russian tank commander sprue, that's fine. Okay, we also have 2 M60 tank sprues. Let's get that out. Okay, and we have got 3 M1 Abrams tank sprues. And we have, last but not least, we have the T-64 sprues. So in here we have the rulebook and we have unit cards. So let's just open that up here for a moment. Now, they don't include the magnets or the decals in here, but still, for what they're selling, it's still a very good deal, especially if you want to start. That's the whole point about this. And I see a piece fell off. This looks like from the M1 Abrams sprue, and that's okay. But this is the World War III Team Yankee book. It is the current one. Okay. So it gives you the appropriate background. Okay. And also gives you a bit about the first day, a couple of days of combat. And then it goes into how things work, how to read the cards, what kind of terrain you can see out there, how does that affect the game. And then, of course, talking about the parts of the turn, the starting steps, what the terrain does. This is all in full color. They do have the bigger version of the rule book, but I also want to point out to you that you have the entire rule book here. You do. You're not missing anything. Okay? And you'd say, but gosh, there's so much in there. Well, yeah, that's the point. There's a lot in here. Okay? And it goes a little bit of background of Soviet, American, British, German, Warsaw Pact. You also got NATO forces. Okay? You also have the Middle East as well with Israel, Iraq, Iran, Syria as well. And it shows you how to pick the force. Okay? How to read the formations and whatnot. And then it goes through the scenarios, starting with your basic missions, and then work your way through. Okay, you also have an index on the back, which is really nice and useful to have. And then, of course, famous eye candy. In this case, I believe this is with British troops. British, I'm not sure. Looks like British troops. Okay, and it also gives you a quick reference chart, which arguably that can also be downloaded from the Battlefront website. So that's cool. You also have a Start Here booklet. Okay, in case you're wondering. Wow, that rulebook looks awfully intimidating. So it starts telling you about the individual units as far as what do they belong to. Okay, and then it gives you the assembly instructions for your M1. Now this is the IP M1, and this is the M3A2 Bradley assembly. So you've got choices as far as the Bradley goes. Okay, this is also the M60 Patton, which pretty much by the time 1985 was rolling around, the Patton was being phased out. Okay, and then there's the Soviets, where it talks about the Breakthrough Tank Battalion, okay, with the T-80, okay, and you've got the T-64 as well, and the BMP-3 Recon Platoon. And then it gives you the assembly instructions for fixing up your T-80, your BMP, your T-64. And then, of course, there's like, if you want to add on more things, like what's next, okay? You've got the appetite, what is next here. Again, you can purchase Apaches, you can purchase Humvees, or the M109 self-propelled artillery, if you are the Americans. If you are the Soviets, you've got the BRDM, you have got the Su-25 Frogfoot, and then, of course, you've got the Heinz, and they also got their respective books as well. And then if you wanted to go whole hog, literally, they do offer the starter force, and this tells you what you get in the starter force. They've made the barrier of entry fairly easy. They really have. Now, I also want to point out on the inside, oops, there's a couple of pieces here. Okay, they fell off or broke off. But on the interior of the box, it's getting kind of hard to see. There you go. You can see when they say starter kit, they literally mean starter kit, because you have got all the tokens you would need to play. So you can literally play this game right out of the box. Okay? So you got your objective markers, you've got your markers for pin or destroyed, or take your pick. But you say, but wait, what about the Russian side? Well, you know what? They got the Russian side as well. So that's pretty good. So literally, this is absolutely self-contained. Now let's take a look at those unit cards here for a moment. Okay. Okay, so you got the M3 Bradley. This is the scout section, which is, I think that was the intent. Although you could bring in you could build, I think, the other version of the Bradley, but that's up to you. Okay, the M60 Patton. Okay, Again, that's a tank platoon. And again, on the back of the cards, it also gives you how many points depending on how many vehicles you have in your platoon. Okay. So here you also got any special rules, and it also tells you like the laser rangefinder, and then it gives you the quick blurb. What does it do? What is it supposed to be? Which is really useful. You got the M1 Abrams. Now there's the M1, and there is the IPM1. Okay, so that depends. The IPM1 is slightly improved armor on the front and the side, which against the Russian guns, that is a positive thing. Okay, and then here we've got an armored combat team, so that's basically the HQ. Again, do you want the M1 or the IPM1? All right, then here for the Russians, you've got the BMP3 Scout, okay, which does have an AT-10 Sagar missile, a 100mm gun mounted on a 30mm gun there, and a machine gun. So I mean, it's a nasty little thing. Very nasty. Okay, you got the T-80 with a front armor of 20, side armor of 10. Okay, it has that 125mm gun. That is not something to laugh at. That isn't. It's pretty formidable. And then the HQ for the battalion, and let's see, I think I got one more in here. Come on, there we go. And then, last but not least, we have the T-64. Now, certainly that is an older version. It came after the T-62, I believe, and it was there in Europe for a long time, and that's it. That's it for our unit card. So let's take a quick look at the sprues, and we'll wrap this up here. So, okay, here is the BMP3. Okay, let's go back up. So here is your BMP3 sprue. Again, detail, it's pretty straightforward in terms of which side do I put the tracks on. If you take a closer look at the bottom half here, you'll see the indents, so you know which side to glue it on. And also, the plastic is molded in the basic color. So if it's a question of, I just want to put this together and play straight out of the box, yes, you could do that. And it would be in the appropriate colors for the BMP. Now, the T-64, okay. Now the T-64, as you can see here, it's a little, that's a tiny little thing in comparison, I guess. But then, of course, to a World War II Sherman, that's another story. I noticed that the gas tanks are in the back, and they are actually together, which compared to the T-72s, of which I have a number of them, those are, wow, yeah, bit of a challenge to go put that on. But you can have the turret open or shut depending on what you want, and you get 3 of those. You get 3 of those, I believe. Yep, you get 3 of them. Okay, Bradleys. Now for the Bradleys themselves, again, it's a different type of green plastic in comparison. But again, there's 2 versions of the Bradley that you can have. I'm going to make the armored cavalry version, but you can see the based on for the size here of the Bradley. Also, the front grille is a little bit different as well. So, yeah. And you get 2 of those. And then, of course, the M60 that has been around for a long time, a direct descendant of the M47, M48 series. Certainly it's been in use for a long time. It's been used in Vietnam as well. So yeah, in 1985, the idea of the patent being around, sure, absolutely. Let's see, what others do we have here? Okay, then we have our M1A1 Abrams. Now again, you could choose to use, you can make the IP1, the IPM1, or the straight up M1. That's up to you. They do include their 50 caliber machine guns and your 7.62 millimeter machine guns on the top. They also give you an extra, which is cool. So you can always have a little something. There's a little bit of stowage there, so you can You can go and kit out your tank, give it a different look. Okay, so you get 3 of those. And then here, here's the T80. And as you can see, yeah, again, the detail here, it's nice. It's what I would typically expect from these guys, from Battlefront. You know, they used to cast resin and metal miniatures, and in the recent years they've retooled to go plastic, and that's a big investment of money. So kudos to these guys, because the plastics are a little bit cheaper that way. Okay. And, well, guys, that's a lot of goodies that you're getting in the box. So, with this, you are getting a whole... go back this way. So you're getting literally a whole box load of sprues. Let's see, 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 tanks. You're getting 15 armored vehicles. You're getting the unit cards to go with it. The counters, you can cut those out. You also have your Tank Commander sprues. Dice, you don't have to scrounge up your own, which is nice. You get the full rulebook, not a cut down version. It's a smaller version of the rulebook, but it's easier if you're traveling. It's easier and more handy to have. And with that, guys, the getting started with the Team Yankee thing. Hey guys, I'm hoping this will benefit you. I think this is a great starter kit. Kind of reminds me of Hit the Beach. Great improvement there, Battlefront. My props to you. If there was one thing I would add in there, and maybe put in a little bit of cardboard terrain, but wow, what you have here is already impressive. All right, I hope this benefited you guys, and you take care. Have a good day. God bless you. Solo Guy out.